Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Football Talk. And today we are going to be reacting to 20 settings you must turn on for college football 27. Now, I'm pretty sure I did a 26 last year from by the way, this is from Eric Rayweather. I'm pretty sure I did do 26. These ones are always like some of my favorites to watch because I like to get the most out of the game, whether it's the audio, whether it's the actual gameplay, or maybe it's something in the presentation, or maybe it's some accessories, or just anything like that. I like to see, like, new settings, or settings that I never knew can make a really big impact. And super excited to hop into this. Hopefully you guys are ready to hop into this with your boy. Without further ado though, let's jump right into it. Let's go.
If you haven't applied the right game settings to college football, you're literally giving your opponents free wins. You're losing games that you should absolutely be winning. And it's not even just the gameplay settings. There's also visual settings that absolutely affect your success on the field, and most people have no clue about this. But don't worry, I'm here to help you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the main menu, we're going to go to settings, we're going to go into game settings. Now we're going to start with gameplay stuff
game
first,
settings,
visual settings, and there's important coaching adjustments that literally will lose you games if you do not set them up right. So make sure to pay attention. We got to start with passing settings first though. So under game options, you want to scroll all the way down to passing mechanics. This is where it all starts, passing the ball. Now there's a bunch of different passing types. There's revamp passing, placement and accuracy, and classic. You're asking yourself, Eric, which ones do I use? This is a good question because it's not just a simple answer. Classic, I would leave it alone. It's old school. It is the weakest passing setting. Revamped is something I do like quite a bit. It gives you better.
I'm gonna tell you guys this. For the ones that are on classic, even on 26, or well, 20 is out now. So if you are on classic, you are giving yourself a big disservice, and you're probably frustrated with the game. I'm just gonna keep it above with you. You're probably frustrated with the game on classic passing. Now, revamp, like, all the new ones are gonna take a little bit to get used to if you have not played them, or maybe this is your first college football game, and since when it was here a decade ago. So a lot of this is gonna be a little bit new to you, but I will say try the other ones. Go into practice mode and try the other ones and see which one you like the most. Because at the end of the day, it's what you like. Because you're going to be playing the game. You're going to be passing the ball and doing all this. So it's up to you what you like. But I'm super glad they got options now. Like, I love the new options.
Ball trajectory. It allows you to drop the ball into the bucket a little bit better. I think revamped is especially good if you were more of a dynasty player or a road to glory player. You want to play that more
definitely for like road to glory and stuff.
This is a good way to pass.
I like making my podcast. I don't like making short clips of my podcast.
Now, if you use revamped passing, what you're going to want to do is make sure your pass lead increases on small, and you'll probably want to put your reticle speed up a little higher with revamped. I would say going on 15 is pretty good here. Now, the placement setting is also pretty good, but mainly if you just have a really good quarterback, like one of the top QB.
Yeah, placement is for like the top quarterbacks and stuff like that. It is very hard on like the other.
If you're more competitive style player, or you want the full.
I think online is
what you want to use.
Passing.
Now with this, you want to make sure that your pass lead increases on small. Now for your reticle speed, this is preference. People go from 5 typically all the way up to 12. That's kind of the range. I leave it on 7 as the default. I think that works the best. With this passing setting, it allows you to get perfect accuracy if you can time the meter in the blue. And this passing setting also allows you to do freeform passing with the left trigger or the L2 button, and it can just help you put the ball in the perfect spot. Now we got the passing settings, we got to go to catching next, and this is really big this year because they've added timing-based catching. Now first we have AI wide receiver for user teams. Just make sure this is on. You don't want to turn this off. Now timing-based catching, if you don't want to deal with timing-based catching at all, you can turn this off and it'll be just the same as it has been any other year. It's kind of a...
You see, folks? You see how easy that was? You see how easy it was just to turn this off if you want to deal with it. I still see comments on my videos. Oh my god, time-based catching, bro. I can't stand it. Oh, it's the worst. Da, 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 da. Why they put it in the game? Did it? You see how easy it is to turn that off? Listening is a fundamental thing in life. And if you can't listen, you're going to struggle in life. The amount of times EA has said it, other YouTubers have said it, and you guys still do not understand that you can turn this off. It's crazy to me. But yet, you say the game is the same every year. These are the same people, guys. Remember that when you see on Twitter and stuff like that, oh, they saying the game is trash. Just remember, they don't listen. They don't know how to listen. So, just keep that in the back of your mind.
Dice roll. You're probably going to catch more passes than you drop, but you have no effect over the perfect catch. Now you can also put this on and you can set it to a certain amount of yards. Now 20 yards I think is best for more beginners because this will only activate on deeper throws down the field. So if you're trying to win a one-on-one catch, they
only activate on deeper throws.
Really shrunk
That's
the
actually
green
pretty
window
cool.
for timing-based catching. So at this point, I don't even think it's that good anymore. 10 or 20 yards is where I would set it if you're using it. You don't want to have it on like 5 yards or 0 yards because there's no reason to try to green catches on a drag route, a flat route, a running back dump down. You don't need to do that. They're going to pretty much catch those every time anyway. 10 yards is going to be like if you're throwing corner routes, dig routes. You can tap the A or X button to time a possession catch perfectly. If you tap it right as the ball is getting there, you will get a green catch, and those are pretty easy to do. I have mine on 20 right now because I don't really use it a whole lot. It's really not that good anymore, but I still want the chance on deeper throws to go for a perfect timing if possible. Now here's something really quick that a ton of people mess up. Please don't mess this up. Coin toss first choice. Always have it on kick. Why? Because you want to be receiving the ball in the second half. You want to have control going into the second half.
I know I'm pausing a lot, but this one right here is like when I see other people play the game, this is my biggest pet peeve. They always want to receive the ball first. And the reason why a lot of people want to receive the ball first is because they want to score. They want to put pressure on their opponent or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, you're putting more pressure on yourself. Coin toss, first choice should be on kick. There, like that. This is one of the settings where there's no debating. You want to kick the ball first, so you can receive it in the second half. I'm going to say this as a fellow Patriots fan. Coach Belichick always wanted to kick the ball first. So at the end, before half, he can double it up. If he scores a touchdown or you get a field goal, guess what? You come back at half, get the ball, you have a chance to be up more. So for the ones that want to receive the ball first and stuff like that, when you lose, you're going to start to realize, damn, if I do put on kick, I have a better chance of winning. Because now I ain't got to make up them points difference. You know what I mean? So please, everyone, if you do not have this setting changed to kick, go into your settings right now and change it to kick. I'm telling you guys, it's going to win you a lot more games, and the doubling up it's going to be so satisfying. I'm telling you guys. I won't steer you wrong now. I'm telling you guys, please, if you have not changed it already, change it.
Let's say you're up a touchdown and you're getting the ball in the second half. You know that you can control the clock. You can kind of slow it down. If you get simply just a field goal, you're now up 2 possessions and you've made it significantly harder.
You literally have all the advantage in the world.
17 points, 21 points. It's a lot, but if you get the ball first and you're able to score a few plays, you're right back in the game. But this second setting here for coin toss is actually even more important. You want to make sure that your coin toss second choice is against win, because
Yeah, against the win.
well, you get the choice to select the win. You want to be against win because that means in the fourth quarter, if there is wind, it'll be at your back, meaning you can kick longer field goals when you have wind at your back. This can give you an extra 1 yard, maybe 3 yards on a field goal, and that could literally win you the game. Now, this next section is going to be called gameplay helpers, and these go overlooked every year by a ton of people, but these absolutely help you in a lot of different ways in the game, and this could be the difference between making a big stop, getting a turnover, and a lot of people don't even know about it. Now, defensive ball hawk typically is on by default. Just make sure that that stays on. This is going to help you get more interceptions. It kind of helps steer the player when you click onto him a little bit and helps him attack the ball at the highest point. Defensive heat seeker assist is usually off. Make sure you turn this on, and also another pro tip, make sure you periodically check your settings, because this is one of those settings, for whatever reason, I don't know why, it's just an EA thing.
Oh, this is the one
and also
that be
make sure your
turning off
defensive heat
sometimes.
seeker assist window is 200%. On default, it'll be at 100. Put it up to 200. This helps you make tackles in the open field a ton better, and you know how hard that could be in this game. This just helps steer your tackler to the ball carrier a lot easier. Hey, if you're getting value out of this video and you want to stay up to date with all the latest and best college football tips all year long, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on. It helps support the channel a ton, and you can always unsub at any time if you get tired of the videos. Defensive switch assist, you also want to make sure this is on. This is another setting that I do believe periodically sometimes it gets turned off. Don't know why. So always check, every so many games, make sure it's turned on. This helps when you're switching to a different defender, like when the ball's in the air and you're trying to switch on to go make a play. It keeps steering him in the right direction. It makes it harder for you to pull him out of the play by accident.
Okay, I did not know about this setting because I'm not a defensive guy. So this right here might be like the one thing I definitely got to change. Right after this video, I'm gonna change it. So let me hold on. What is it called again? Because I want to get the name right. Defensive switch assist. If you guys have played Madden in college football, everybody has had this happen to them at least once or twice a game. When they throw a deep ball, right? They hadn't thrown deep ball all game because you've been locking them up. They throw a deep ball, you try to switch to that guy that is defending the deep ball threat, and he goes this way, or as soon as you switch on to him, he doesn't jump, and then next thing you know, they done scored a touchdown. That happened to me a couple weeks ago. I was so mad, bro, because it's like switching sometimes can be already hard enough. Because sometimes you switch to the wrong person. CPU might not tackle that guy. Now your person got to try to run and get that guy. It's so many problems that can happen. This right here is going to help me so much. Hopefully it help you guys as well. Especially if you're not a defensive guy. This definitely will help me. Alright, where was we at? Alright, let's go back here.
Direction, it makes it harder for you to pull him out of the play by accident. And controlled play art is one that is really sneaky but helps a lot of people. You actually should turn this on. It's off by default, but what this will do is whatever player you're on defense, it'll show you what your assignment is. It'll show you your run fits. And this really helps if you're more of a beginner because it always reminds you exactly where
this
you're supposed
definitely
to be.
be
If you're in
great
a
for
certain zone,
beginners.
it shows you exactly where you should be covering. If you're in a run fit, it tells you what your responsibility is. So you can notice this guy here on the outside, you can see that his fit is kind of protecting the outside here. So you know if they run the ball, this is where you need to stay. Whereas this guy right here, you can see that his run fit line is going in this gap. So if they run the ball, that's where you want to go with him and make sure that you maintain your gap integrity. Now this next one is really important. Please listen here. This is under gameplay helpers, but it might as well be like its own section in a way. Switch stick delay. Make sure this is on slight. You have moderate, you have disable. Okay. I would not disable it. This is one of the best features in the game. You should learn to use it. Switching players on the right stick. It's how you get more stops. But you don't want to put this on none. You want it on slight. And the reason is because if you're in the middle of adjusting a player, and the offense snaps the ball, quicker than expected, you don't want to accidentally switch off the player by accident the second the ball snap, taking
Oh,
slight delay.
I do that
like
sometimes.
A little bit of a millisecond or so between the ball being snapped and you being able to actually switch. But once you start switching players, you can switch instantly. There's no delay in that, so don't have any fear there. This is just right when the ball is snapped. You don't want to accidentally switch too quickly if you're in the middle of making an adjustment. And really quickly, I do want to mention that we are still partnered with Civil.gg. If you play College Football 27,
shout out to Civil.gg.
Nonsense, losing Dynasty games, 30% off. Link is in the description. These are way more important than you think they are. So let's go to accessibility. Enlarge on-field graphics. Now, this is something that I don't personally use, but it is extremely helpful for a lot of people. So let's look right here and we can see on the field.
Oh, yeah. I use this.
Over our players. We can see the Y button, the B button, the X button. And if
I don't use it when I'm like recording videos, but I do use it like when I'm not recording.
Graphics, now I want you to know
it helps me a lot.
For a lot of people, this is very helpful. Maybe they just don't see as well as other people. Maybe they're more of a beginner and it's harder for them to read the field. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. This makes all the icons bigger so that they're impossible to miss. It also makes the catch meter much bigger as well, which makes it easier to time.
Oh, it makes the
Do
catch
not sleep
meter?
on this setting because this one little visual thing alone can really up your game.
I ain't gonna lie to you. This might be the biggest thing right here. So if you don't like how small the catch meter is, or you see that well, even for people that can see well, I think this would be good for even people that can see like really good. I think this is just overall just a useful one. This is probably the most useful one so far. The enlarge, yeah. I think everybody should at least try it, at least.
If you're having trouble seeing the field. Now this next one's kind of funny, but we're going to stay in the accessibility tab here. We're going to go all the way to the bottom. Force off motion blur. Now this is on no by default. A lot of people find that they play better with this actually on yes. Which is going to.
That's why I do it that same way.
The motion blur is just kind of distracting. A lot of people don't like it. It was added to these games a few years ago. A lot of people hate motion blur. Yes, it does make the game look more realistic, but it is distracting. And it's
it definitely can be.
Funny things,
some people
turning this off.
Some people just don't like motion blur in any game.
Unless you like the way it looks, but most people don't. Now stay with me here because I know this has happened to you. Have you ever been in a game and your camera accidentally changed right before the play, and then you didn't know how to change it back, or you had trouble changing it back, or you got stuck in a bad camera?
This used to happen to me all the time in Madden.
But we can fix this. Under visual feedback, if you scroll down to cameras, there's a camera toggle that's on by default. You can turn this off. Now, when you turn this off, you cannot toggle your camera in game, so keep that in mind. But almost nobody does this. Most people have the camera they want to play at, and that's where they want to stay.
Oh, I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for.
But sometimes you accidentally hit the D-pad, you toggle the camera, especially if you're on defense, you don't want this to happen. So turn this off, but what you also need to make sure to do is you need to make sure that your offensive and defensive camera is set how you want. Now, most people play on standard. Some people will play on like a wide camera or something, all 22. No one really plays on broadcast because that's psycho. But make
yeah,
sure
you
that
play
your
on
camera
broadcast.
is on the setting you want it to be on, and then turn your camera toggle off. You'll never have to worry about accidentally switching cameras, and that could literally lose you games. Now we tab over to coaching adjustments. Now what's new this year and is great is that you can set your coaching adjustments in the settings and they will stay that way every game. Now you can also change your coaching adjustments in game as well, which is great. Some things you want to adjust on the fly. You don't want them to always be the same, but there are some that you want to always be a certain way, and you can keep it there forever now. So let's talk about it. Now in our coaching adjustments, a lot of stuff we're going to keep on balanced or default. Like things like deep pass catching, intermediate pass catching, blocking. You want that stuff on balance because it's just truly the best way to leave it. Auto base protection, this is an important one. This is off by
Sorry about that, guys.
by default. You don't want that because plays have built-in protections now. Some plays have half slides and all that stuff built in, but that really can leave you susceptible to giving up easy sacks, somebody being unblocked, and you don't know that. So base and empty are kind of the two that most people use. Empty is going to be really good.
Yeah, I
if people
use
are using a
base.
lot of D-line stunts on you. I usually use base.
Because I play against the
Playing someone
CPU
that
mostly.
is throwing a lot of D-line stunts
So,
at me, I'll switch it to empty. I can do that.
Ain't
in
we
the
got
main
worried
menu.
about,
Here's an
like,
example here. I'm in
online
practice
play.
mode, but you do the same thing in a game. You click your right analog stick in, brings up your coaching adjustments, so you can go and change these things on the fly in game as well. But I leave mine on base by default. Trust me, this right here, either one of these you want to use, this will prevent you from getting sacked at least a little bit more. Untarget user defender, I would say leave this off. Sometimes you want to put this on if someone's like using glitch blitzes with their user defender, but I think it's better to leave it off because it can hurt you in the run game. So I think for most people, leave it off is probably the best thing to do. Ball carrier, you keep that on balanced. You can turn it on conservative in game if you're up late and you just want to protect the ball, but mostly just leave it on balanced. Wide receiver help scrambling QB. This is huge. Make sure this is on aggressive because that means when the play breaks down, the wide receivers will be quicker to try to find open lanes for you to hit them with a pass. They won't just stand
I like
around all
that.
day. This one is very overlooked. It's new this year. Make sure you use it.
Oh,
Auto flip
okay.
defensive
I bet
play
say, is
calls
that
is
new?
another
It
huge one. This
definitely
should
is.
be on by default. Make sure to leave it on. This will make sure your defense aligns with the strength of the offense. So for example, here you can see that there are a bunch of receivers to one side of the field, but yet my slot cornerback is on the opposite side of the field. That doesn't do me any good.
Yeah, I
I can
always
give over
left this
there
one on.
where there's more threats. That's why you need to make
Anything
sure
with
that
like
your
auto
offense is
flip
on,
and
because
stuff
when
like
it's
that, I
on,
always
you
leave
will
on.
line up to the strength of the offense. Cornerback matchups, this is another huge one. Make sure it's on balance. People like to say, oh, I want to do it by overall, by speed, by height. No, leave it on balance. We've seen for years, for whatever reason, when you switch this, sometimes it bugs out. Not all the time, but sometimes it does, and your guys are lining up weird. Keep it on balance. It's going to prevent you from giving up touchdowns, I promise you. Defensive motion response, I keep this on default. Defensive aggression and gap integrity, I leave on balance. I mean, you can play around with these if you want, but, you know, I don't really feel like there's an advantage one way or the other. These are huge. These next four are huge. Option read key, always conservative. Why? If you don't have this on conservative and somebody runs a read option with a fast QB, he's going to be out for major yards, sometimes even a touchdown. I know you've given up huge plays like this and you're wondering why. But when you put it on conservative, what you'll notice is that they're going to focus on the QB and he's literally going to lose yards. This right here will win you games when someone pulls this out in a big situation and they lose yards. Now your option pitch key, this goes on aggressive because this is for when they're running like a speed option where they're trying to pitch it to the running back. Now, yes, you can keep it with the quarterback. A lot of people don't.
Oh,
do
you
that.
remember
Smart
speed
players
option in
read it,
25?
Keep it with the QB. if
That was
necessary, but
that was the
people
most
just
unstoppable
mindlessly
thing
wanna
you
pitch
ever
the ball.
seen.
I even play like that. I want to pitch it when I run an option. This will have your defense better equipped to hit the running back in the backfield and he'll lose yards. Now for your RPO read and pass key, you want to also make sure these are both on conservative. This will help you better defend the pass against RPOs because again, just like the option we just talked about, when people run RPOs, they want to pass the ball. They want to throw the screen, the bubble, the flat route. They don't want to run it. They will run it sometimes, but they mainly want to throw it. This will put us in better positions to have our defense play the pass. Is this perfect? No, you will still give up some of those screens sometimes. That's just kind of how the game is, but you want to be in the best position to succeed and this will help you do that. Now all this other stuff right here I mainly leave on balance and default. Sometimes you play around with safety depth and width. It is good to pinch your safety sometimes, especially if someone's running the ball a lot. You know, you can do this again in game. You can click the right stick in, pull up your adjustments. You can put your safeties in a pinch. This will kind of get them lined up a little more inside. It can help against the run, but more times than not, if you're a beginner, you know, just keep this stuff on default. Zone strategy is an interesting one. This is on default. This is a new setting this year, but aggressive works really well. Now, yes, when you play aggressive, you can give up some bigger plays, but I find that more times than not, number one, a lot of people want to throw the ball short. They love spamming drags, flat routes, comeback routes. This helps against comeback routes because the deep thirds and like a cover three, for example, will bite down a little harder on it. Yes, you can give up a bigger play doing this.
Yeah, I'm a quick throw demon. You hear me?
And if you're playing a cover 3 or a cover 4, you still have some deep zones back there anyway. They might get a little more aggressive, but you know, you're not going to just give up bombs all day. I do think aggressive is an interesting one, but if you want to be safe, you can obviously just leave this on default. But again, you can change this in-game in your coaching adjustments menu. So if you feel like you're in a situation where they're definitely going short or you're playing someone that always goes short, then put it on aggressive and you'll be good to go. Now look, here's another one. Have you ever been beat by people that are just scrambling all day long? They're just scrambling and trying to have the play breakdown, run out with their
Yeah,
trying to throw
definitely
the ball.
have.
This is where plaster logic is good. You want to put this, in my opinion, on aggressive. You want to put your plaster trigger on OOP. That means when they leave the pocket, they're going to try to latch onto the receivers. And plaster time, in my opinion, you want to put this on aggressive. Now, yes, if you're playing someone that never scrambles, you can turn these back to default, but a lot of people want to scramble with the QB. They want to run out. So what this does is it better helps your defense, especially if you're playing zone. It helps them match onto the receivers and kind of play man-to-man when the QB runs out, breaks the pocket, and starts to move on the run. This helps so that they can be in better positions to defend the pass instead of just letting the receivers run into wide open lanes. They'll try to play man-to-man because they see that the QB's running and they're trying to make sure that they're rallying to the receivers and not letting them just get wide open. Now that you've got your settings in check, you're ready to learn about what to actually do.
All right, man. Oh man. Hey, some of these settings I knew about, but like, I never really like checked it out, especially on the defensive side of things. I don't really touch those settings, but now there are a couple I'm a change. But for me, one of the biggest things was the enlarge icons. I know that might not seem like, it's not the most flashy thing, right? But I think it's good for everyone. I think that's one of the things that's like everybody can use it to its full potential. You know what I mean? The ones that really can't see that well, even if you do wear glasses, every now and then you might not be able to, especially in like snow weather or stuff like that. Oh, and Madden, Jesus Christ, that help you so much. Like with that heavy snow, yeah. But like it would just help you, even without weather being a factor. I feel like that would help you a lot. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys did learn something as well. Let me know in the comments down below, what settings do you adjust and do you change? I would love to hear that and talk in the comments with you guys. By the way, if you guys made it to the end, say panda in the comments. Type panda. Love you guys. See you guys in the next one.